Kirito's at some kind of party. Everybody's being super worshipy of him. Whoa, you're Kirito? Oh my god, the Kirito? Oh no. Oh my god, I'm so moist. And he's just like, yeah, I'm Kirito. I mean, it's no big deal, really, guys. Oh no. And then some guy, again, this weird sister shit in this anime, comes up and tries to like sell his sister to him. Like, oh, she could be totally a good person to have around. You know what I mean? Hint, hint, wink, wink, it's my sister. Anyway, they're all just around this guy. So I guess this event that, you know, you would think everybody would hate him, just that's all blown over now. And apparently it's considered rude to ask what level somebody is in this game. I don't know if that's a Japanese thing or not, but either way, it's really weird. So Kirito lies about it and says that he's way like lower of a level than he actually is. I don't think I've ever seen a game where it was MMO and you couldn't see other players' levels in it. I don't think I've ever seen that. I guess he's also gotten over his weird PTSD from an event that didn't fucking happen, because now he's like, oh sure, we can all party up and I'll you know, go with you guys and look for treasure and beat up monsters and stuff. Wow, let's do it. So they keep eating. Then they go fight these weird praying mantis monsters. And then they stop and eat again. There is a lot of eating and cooking in this anime, and none of it really looks good. It's not like when you play Monster Hunter or something and you see the food that the cat people make, you know? They're not exactly cats, I guess. I don't know, they kinda are. But they make all this really hot, weird, delicious, steamy food. And you see it like steam coming off of it. And you can, from the colors and the vibrance of the food and the way it moves and the textures and stuff, it looks like real food and it looks amazing. It makes you hungry. It makes you want to cook. It makes you want to eat. When you see stuff in this, it's just like sandwiches and steamed buns and some broad making soup or something. Who fucking cares? Why is this so prominent in this? Why are they always eating? Why does Asuna talk so much about how she's such a good cook and she's always making this dude sandwiches? What? Why? Then they start talking about how there's this group of people who are trying to get stronger than everybody else so they can kind of be like the government and the police of the game and stuff like that. That's one of the few things you actually do see come to fruition later. And it was kind of at this point in the anime that I sort of stopped and had like this weird thought. Does anybody in the real world know what's going on in this game? Is there a way they can view what's happening? Can they communicate with anybody in the game? Did the guy set up some kind of automated thing where he uploaded some video to YouTube explaining what's going on with these people or anything like that? Because like, if they don't, they just know people can't take these nerve gear off, and they had to take a couple of them off to know that it would kill them. I guess these people, like, do they unplug the nerve gear to take them to the hospital? I don't know what the healthcare system's like in Japan. I imagine it's very good. Do they have, you know, like a hospice thing set up at these people's houses in case they die or something? I mean, you have these people whose bodies are literally just vegetables because they can't take this thing off that's blocking with microwaves somehow their brain shit for the CNS. Can't move their muscles, but they still breathe. Their heart still beats and all that. Somehow the microwaves, I guess, like, you know, single out like the nervous system of like an active like manual movement. But, you know, they're not eating when they take a shit or whatever. I guess it just goes everywhere like a fucking shotgun right out of their asshole. And if they don't if they don't have like any sort of, you know, notification or any information as to like why these people are like this, as far as they know, that it will just be like that forever. Good thing they're not in America, huh? With Obamacare. Like, I don't know, months in this game have passed, and I'm assuming that the days in the game are somewhat similar to real life, or somebody would have said something about that by now. So is there no need for server maintenance? They don't have to, you know, there's like a holiday event. There's events that happen in the game that are only there for like a limited time. They don't have to like, you know, install an update. This game was like fresh out of beta test when they launched it for these guys. I mean, there's no bugs. There's nothing that needs to be worked out or any of that. Like, it just runs perfect, I guess. And I get it. You know, it's an anime. You have like a little bit of a suspension of disbelief kind of thing, but that only goes so far. When you make something like this, it becomes a whole lot better of a story. Maybe you won't sell as many toys or Blu-rays, which I understand is somehow like the only thing that matters when you're trying to get an anime to have like another season is like the Blu-ray sales for some reason. But you'll have a better story. You'll have a better thing that will stand the test of time and stay with people longer. Maybe that's not what's valuable to you, but you'll have that if you keep things, if you keep things right in the realm of like, it could be reality, right? Like, don't push too far away where it's fantastic unless you're trying to make something like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is the whole point of that is that it's just bizarre. But with this, they're kind of trying to throw like real life shit into it. They're trying to make it seem like they're trying to create like suspense of, will these people get out of the game and survive? Like, what will they do? Some of them don't. Some of them die. Of course, none of the main characters die. It's not, the writing's not good enough for that. But that's kind of why I think people will just watch and consume Sword Art Online until it just goes away. And then people will just kind of forget about it as like one of those things. It's like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that. Like, what happens if somebody's internet router fucks up or something? You telling me Japanese routers never just, their Wi-Fi or whatever never cuts out? They never need to be rebooted or anything like that? Everybody just has a flawless fucking router in Japan. And what's the problem with somebody just like snatching the Netgear, and can you explain to me what the problem is with somebody just like snatching the nerve gear off their head? There's no way it can like get what's happening that fast. Like just take it off their head. Like, there's no way that is that fast. You can just take it off and they won't get brain damaged or anything. Where is the, how far are you going to ask me to suspend my disbelief with this shit? So of course Kirito goes to bed, and little sister, little Oni-chan comes by and goes, Oni-chan! She comes by to visit him in his bedroom. And now we see the start of what we like to call a Gary Stu anime. In a Gary Stu anime, the main character is the totally cool teenager the creator wishes that he was when he was young. He is strong despite possessing no real qualities that someone else couldn't achieve. He's hated only by the most irrational and evil of people. He's adored by everyone who is good and decent. And all the ladies within a 10-mile radius get vagina boners and their panties just fucking fly off like bottle rockets from just a whiff of his sweet teen musk. And that's the good stuff about a Gary Stu anime. The bad thing about these types of productions is that more often than not, these are the things that catch on in Japan and in America. Because, I'm sorry, somebody's got to say it, okay? People who like anime are fucking stupid. There's a lot of good anime out there, but the people who consume this type of media, they're retarded. They don't understand what a good story is. It's just the colors and the fucking artwork from Japan is just there. And that's just all they care about. And I'll tell you something else a lot of people won't tell you who review anime because they want to get all those sweet anime neat bucks. A lot of these people immediately insert themselves into the part of the main character emotionally in the same way that the author of the series does. They know for a fact that one day they will also shit themselves in their bed alone while they waste away their last moments in a fantasy game where everybody loves them and they're just the best people and they're so good at video games. The prophecy, however, has yet to be fulfilled, but someday, Weeb-sama, someday. Then Kirito goes with his new friends and his new lolly girlfriend, and because he knows where some secret chest is in this dungeon, he leads them to it. They, of course, run up and just open the chest, right? And when they open the amazing chest ahead, they get surprise sexed by a fucking army of hobgoblins and shaloming rock golems. He feels so bad about his idiot friends getting long knifed by all these goblins that he decides he's gonna go fight this special holiday event monster by himself. Remember when I told you there were events in this game? I wasn't lying. It's right there. So the redheaded guy from the beginning that liked how he looked shows up again, and he offers with his friends to help him beat the holiday monster. So this being a Gary Stu anime, right? He sits up and he's just like, no, I have to beat this monster by myself. I have to do it myself. So Kirito fights the monster and dies. Just kidding. There's no suspense. He's a self-insert character. He's not going to get killed. He beats the monster. He gets the item. And we see one of the moments in this anime that I actually thought things were going to turn around. This part, I feel like maybe when I saw it, I was like, wow, there might actually be some good writers on staff here. But I think they actually did this by accident. I don't think they they meant to do anything this profound. He gets the item from the boss, which you can use to revive someone who has died, a player character who has died. Once he gets the item, he discovers that you can only use it to revive someone if they've died in like the last couple seconds. Hazencruz, why is this part well done? Why don't you like the rest of it? I'll tell you, moron, because this part displayed 2 layers of something that was fucking really very real and human. Kirito wanted to revive this girl that got killed because he led them into a trap accidentally, and he feels responsible for that. That's one of the few things I can identify with this character about, okay? So the setup for this is already better than most of the other shit in the show. He has all this hope, this built up for him to be able to do this thing, which, you know, I guess is supposed to be hard to do by yourself, but there's no suspense. He's not going to lose that fight. But, you know, it's supposed to seem tough. So he does this tough thing, and he wins, he beats it, he gets the fucking item, and that's when he discovers that the item's actually fucking completely useless to him. He can't bring this girl back to life. You could argue that he should know that because once people die in the game, they die in real life, so there's no way he could bring them back to life in real life with an in-game item, right? That would be stupid. It would make sense for the item to only be able to be used within 10 seconds of a player death, because maybe there's like a couple seconds after they actually die in the game that they, you know, a grace period, like 10 seconds, that they can revive the person without the thing killing them in real life or whatever. But I would say that if this guy's really full of grief from this, he could be blinded by that and not really be thinking logically, right? He could just see, well, here's my only chance to bring that girl back to life. And he does the thing that he thinks will let him do that, and it just completely fucks him. He can't do it. The other layer to this is that these MMO type games, if you've ever played any of them, you know that when a description for an item that you don't have says something that it does, that's not always what that item will do when you get it. It revives dead players. You get the item. Revive any dead player within 10 seconds. That's very real. To anybody who's ever played any kind of game like this, that's... You understand that. Like, you understand, like, oh shit, like, you see that and you go, oh wow, that is relatable. But the writing of the show can't stay good for too long, otherwise they might only appeal to the 1% of people on Earth who enjoy anime but don't spend hundreds of dollars on Dakis, Blu-rays, and Nendroids. So they unravel all this emotional tension and real shit that hits you hard when Kirito gets home and discovers that his GF, like every fucking woman on Earth, never sought out anything in life other than just living off the men she was surrounded by, and therefore had no plans to leave the beginning area of the game. But because the men wanted to leave, she begrudgingly had to agree. How'd that work out for you, narrow-ass idiot?